I don't know about you, but I love some good coffee, and so did a lot of frontiersmen. However, most coffee was transported as whole green coffee beans like this. So how do you turn coffee beans like this into a cup of coffee? I'm going to show you that whole process in this video. First things first, we need to get a fire going. I'm going to build the fire kind of out here where it's a bit more dry, and then hopefully leave it out in the rain. Once I get some good coals, I can just push them all out there. At least that's the plan. But the rain's really picking up, so I might just have to have the whole fire here. Get a bit on there so it can start drying. Hopefully, at least. I'm going to stack some of these wood pieces right next to the fire so they can start drying out as the first stuff is catching. In here it's smoky, out there you get soaked. It's just a choice of the lesser of two evils, so I don't know. Alright, well, we've got the fire pretty hot, at least hot enough where we can use it. We just really have to pay close attention to it because of the rain and everything being soaked. So the next thing, now that we have a fire going, is we need to roast the green coffee beans. That's what the green coffee beans look like. Just whole coffee beans that are like a green color. So now we need to roast them. So first I'm gonna get some more wood drying, then we'll roast them. Here's some of the green coffee beans again. Coffee beans that are green. Dump them in the pan, and then you just want to stir them constantly so they don't burn. I had to kick down the fire a little bit, but because it was getting too hot and the smoke was just about killing me. Also didn't want to burn the coffee. But we're set now to keep cooking. I lost some. You can see some of the beans are starting to turn a little brown. That's good. You just want to keep stirring them, especially once they start changing color, so that you get a nice even roast and don't burn any. Yeah, the coffee beans are definitely starting to change color. It's a whole lot of rain, and it just keeps getting worse. Quite the thunder. Most of the coffee beans are getting pretty close, so just really got to keep an eye on them now to keep them from burning. And you can take them out at any time. It's up to you, your desired roastedness, I guess. If you want a light roast or a dark roast. I'm gonna do like a pretty dark roast, so I want them to be pretty dark in color before I take them off. But if you want a lighter roast, just take them off sooner. Most of the coffee beans are about as roasted as I want them, so I'm gonna go ahead and take them off and set them aside to let them cool a little bit, and then we can make coffee. So that's what the roasted coffee beans look like. So it's a pretty dark roast, but you can make them as dark or as light as you want, like I said earlier. And this looks pretty good because some of them you can see were starting to get a little burnt, so I want to take it off before the rest of them got burnt. And yeah, overall it's not the most even or uniform roast, but it'll taste good hopefully. Alright, since our coffee beans are done, I'm gonna start heating up the water we want for the coffee. Throw that on the fire so it can start heating up. Alright, next we're gonna grind our coffee beans. Look pretty good. Oh yeah, kind of hot though. We're gonna grind them up so we can add them to the water. But how do we grind them up without a grinder? Oh, the smoke. Well, we're gonna use 2 rocks and a piece of cloth. Smoke is deadly. So I have a piece of cloth here. This is specifically for making and grinding up coffee. Now I'm gonna get a good amount, more than that, decent handful of coffee, and then I'm gonna wrap it up, and then just like that, and I'm gonna squish it up between the rocks until it becomes a powder, and then we can throw it in the water, boil up some coffee. So there's the coffee beans. Try not to spill them. And then I'm just gonna get them in a bunch, wrap them up in the material, and then use the rocks to grind them up. And you can use anything, such as the back of your tomahawk, maybe a mallet or some random stick or something. Whatever works. I've even used a cast iron spoon to help grind the coffee. But whatever works, just use that. Yeah. It's starting to get to be a powder, but we still got some more grinding to do. It smells great, so hopefully it'll taste great too. Camera down. There we go. That's some pretty fine ground up coffee. Could grind a little bit more of that, but overall it's pretty good. Now that the coffee's all ground up, I'm gonna add it into our coffee pot. Mix it up. And then get that to boil for a couple minutes. Now, I'm gonna dump whatever coffee we didn't use into this tin so we can save it for later. Coffee's boiling. Well, our coffee's been boiling for probably 10 minutes now, so it should be ready. Gonna take it off, set it over there to cool, and I'll let you know how it is here in just a minute. Well, coffee's all done, so let's try it. That looks really good. And if you add just a splash of cold water, any grinds that are in there will sink right to the bottom. Let's try it out. Here in a minute. It is way too hot right now. Whew. Smells good though. Well, the coffee's cool enough to drink now, so let's try it. That's pretty good. Tastes like good coffee. It's really smoky from cooking it over the fire and roasting the beans and stuff. I think next time I'm gonna roast the beans a little more to get a darker roast, but it's really good. I like it. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the trail.